Hi, my name is Jolie McCrary. I'm an AP Psychology teacher. This video is for all AP students who are looking for updated information about the 2020 exam. This will just be a highlight video of some of the main points, things that students should know prior to the exam date. To start with, students should be sure of when their exam date and time is. So take a second, pause the video, find out when your exams are and what time they will be taking place. The next thing that is really important for you to take a look at is the AP Exam Day Checklist. I think this is a really helpful resource. You can find it at cb.org/AP checklist. I will show you what that looks like when you type it in the web browser. So if you type that in, it will take you to this website. It's actually a one-page front and back document that you can print, or you can download it to your computer. The College Board actually suggested that if you are able to print it, that you have this right next to your device when you're taking the exam, so it can kind of help walk you through what you need to have and what you need to do on exam day. And so I think it's really helpful. It's very concise. If you don't have the ability to print, it's not a big deal. You can just download this document. But if you can see, it has a checklist for you of things you need to make sure you do prior to the exam, things you need to do during the exam, and things you need to know for after the exam. I will go over a lot of these different points in this video, but if you have this page with you, this can be something that you can go and look back at. So I definitely suggest at least going to this website, looking at this document, and print it off if you're able to. So hopefully you're able to take a look at that checklist. If you can't print it off, no big deal. Just download it or keep a tab on your computer for now so that you can go through that checklist and make sure you have everything you need prior to the exam. The next thing that you need to do is you need to check your contact information in your myap account. So you'll go to myap.collegeboard.org. You want to go to your account information and you want to check and make sure they have the right contact information for you. So you'll need to make sure your email address is correct. This is the most important thing because they are sending you information by email. So double check that your email address is typed in correctly. If it's not, change it. And then you'll want to make sure you update it. And don't worry, if for some reason you are not getting emails even still and it's right, it's not a big deal because you can actually go back into your myap account before the test and you'll have your test ticket in your myap account. But they are trying to make it really simple by sending your test ticket information to you by email before the exam. If for some reason you cannot log into your AP account and you have tried to reset your password and you still cannot get in, I suggest that you go to the email address at the bottom of the screen. It's apstudents@info.collegeboard.org and contact someone with the College Board who will help you get into your account. If you cannot get into your account and you are not receiving emails, then you will not be able to get into the test. So you need to at least be able to sign into your myap account, and if you can't, contact someone at that email address. They are not answering their phone lines right now. Their call centers are closed because of the coronavirus, so make sure you contact them through email. The next thing that you need to be aware of is that you need to have a browser that supports their test. So they have said that they prefer you to use Chrome. If you use Firefox, Safari, or Edge, those will also work, but Internet Explorer will not. So just make sure that you have the updated version of Chrome or Firefox, Safari, or Edge, but you cannot use Internet Explorer for this test. The test will actually just be on a web browser. It's not a separate program. It is something you will use through an internet browser. The next thing that I think is very, very, very important for students is that you need to disable any plugins or extensions on your web browser. A lot of my students use Grammarly, and so you need to make sure you go in and you have no active extensions or plugins. And they specifically said that Grammarly will not let you operate on this test. And so just go, and if you're not sure how to disable an extension or a plugin, you can just Google search how to disable web extension or plugin, and it will walk you through how to do that. Just make sure you don't have any plugins or extensions on your web browser. I would do that as soon as this video is over. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the simulation, the test simulation, which I think is awesome. It's a great way for you to practice creating a response and seeing what this process is like to submit a response online. So if you see on the screen, you're actually going to go to cb.org/apdemo. I'm going to type that into my web browser and I'll show you what pops up. So here I am at the demo site. This is what the test will look like. Whenever you take the test, it'll look just like this. You're going to type in your AP ID here, but for the demo, it says that we just need to type in the word practice, and so it will let me practice submitting something so I can see what it's like. So I'm going to click submit, and it's even going to have me complete personal information like I would on exam day. So I'm going to click get started. I'm going to just type in some information here. I'm going to pause the video so that I can do it quickly, and then I'll show you what it looks like whenever we move on to the next page. Okay, so I typed in my personal information. I'm on to the next page, and it's got a timer of when my exam will start, and it will be like this on the test day also. But on this page, it's telling you how you can submit your response. You can submit a text file, you can attach a photo, you can copy and paste your response, and it tells you how to do those things. My suggestion for you would be to try all of them and just see what it's like, so that when you get to the test day, you already know which method you're going to use and you feel comfortable with it. So you don't actually have to, on this demo, answer a question. It's just going to have you like write a paragraph or write something so that you could just practice submitting some kind of response, and it will show you how to do that. And so I highly suggest that you try this before the exam day. So as I mentioned earlier, it is really important that your email address is confirmed and that it is correct so that you're getting emails from the College Board 2 days before the exam. They are going to send you a personalized e-ticket, and so that you'll be able to access that through your email. If for some reason you don't get that email, not a big deal. Just 2 days before the exam, check your myap account and it will be there also. So here are some things that you will need on your exam day. You can pause the video and look at all of these. I do want to just mention over here on the right side, as you know by this point, this is an open note exam. So you are permitted to use your class notes, you are permitted to use your textbook. You can use those resources to help you on the exam, and they do want you to know that they are okay with that. There are some things that they are not okay with, and I'll go over that on the next slide. So because they are allowing students to use resources on this exam, they do want you to know that there are some things that are not okay. So things that are not okay would be anything that you could collaborate with other students on. So if you have a Google Doc of notes, you can use that, but you cannot use a Google Doc that another student is also on so that you could be collaborating and sharing answers on. So if you have some kind of classroom notes that other people have access to, my suggestion would be to download that or make a copy of that so it is your own doc or your own document so that no one else is jumping in on that document with you. Another thing just to be aware of is that anytime you are searching the internet, if you hop onto a site where other students are talking about the exam, that is considered collaboration and that is considered cheating. So you want to avoid that. Internet searches can also waste your time, and they've made it clear that these questions are going to take you a long time. So if you are sifting through your resources and you are searching the internet, you will likely not get as much done as a student who is not using resources. And so their suggestion is to do what you can on your own. And if you have some time remaining, then to go look at your resources, but it will not benefit you to be sifting through the internet and sifting through your notes and wasting time. So be thinking about where you're going to take your test. Make sure it's near a plug-in where you can hook up and you can charge your device. Make sure that no one else is going to be using the internet while you are on the internet, or try to limit that. So if you have family members who are streaming something, let them know that you're going to be testing at that time. As I mentioned earlier, collaboration is considered cheating. So make sure that you look through this slide and you know what their security measures are and you know what is considered cheating. Just be sure that you are taking this exam with integrity and honesty. You do not want the universities to find out that you have been collaborating and cheating on an AP exam. They take that very seriously, and it is not worth college admissions being canceled due to cheating on an AP exam. So please don't do that. This is a super informative video from the College Board, and I am going to play the first few minutes of it because I think it is very helpful in helping you see how you will be submitting these responses.
This video will walk you through the AP 2020 exam's important steps and offer tips. 2 days before the exam, you will get an email with your AP ID and an e-ticket that will take you to your personalized exam. Check in 30 minutes before your exam starts. The first thing you'll do is enter your 8-character AP ID, and then fill out all your personal information. Note the timer at the bottom of the screen. Hit continue. The exam will automatically start when that countdown hits 0. And once it starts, the timer located at the bottom will count down how much time you have to read your question, craft your response, and submit it. If your exam has 1 question, you will have 50 minutes. If you have 2 questions, you will get 30 minutes for the first one and 20 minutes for the second one. If you are approved for extended time, it will be added automatically. The timer will turn red when you have 5 minutes left. That's when you should wrap up your work and start submitting your response. Once that timer hits 0, you will automatically be moved to the next question. This is important. You can get partial credit for a partial answer, but you will not get any credit if you submit nothing. You can use any device to take this exam: a desktop, laptop, tablet, or phone. If you're typing on a desktop or laptop, you can reduce the size of your browser window so you can see the question and your text file side by side. Type your AP ID and initials at the top of the page. You can also write your responses on paper. If you're writing by hand, use a number 2 pencil or a pen with blue or black ink. Use white paper, lined or unlined, and write legibly. Print or cursive is fine. You can place your phone next to your paper so you can keep an eye on your time. Be sure you put your AP ID and initials at the top of the page. If you use more than 1 piece of paper, number each page in order. For most AP exams, there are 3 ways to submit work. You can attach a text file typed in another application. You can paste a response typed in another application. Or you can attach photos of work you wrote by hand. Let's walk through each option. To attach a typed response, click Attach Response with Attach Text File. You can browse for a file. Once you hit Submit, you cannot go back to that question, so make sure you're ready to move on before you hit Submit. If you choose to copy and paste your work, click on Paste Response. Copy your response and paste it into the box. Review it to make sure it has everything you want to submit and is formatted correctly. Once you have checked the pasted copy, hit Submit. If you're attaching a handwritten response, tap Attach Response. Tap Attach a Photo. Make sure it is vertical and you are in a well-lit space. Snap your photo. If your response has more than 1 page, make sure you attach the pages in order. Remember, once you hit Submit, you cannot go back. If you just have 1 question for your exam, that's it, you're done. For exams with 2 questions, if you finish the first one with time to spare, a timer will start a countdown for when your second question will automatically start. When you see this screen, the timer has started for your second question. The process for answering question number 2 is exactly the same as for question number 1, except you have 20 minutes to read the question, work on your response, and submit it. Once you submit your second answer, you're done.
So you'll want to make sure that you check into your exam 30 minutes before start time so you can do the identifying information. Make sure that you don't refresh your browser. When you're writing a response, you're going to want to make sure that you are watching the time. It will include the 5-minute submission time in your overall time. So when the timer turns red with 5 minutes left, you need to stop and submit your response. It will not force you to stop, but you need to stop because if the time runs out and you have not submitted your response, it will not be able to be graded. If you have any technical issues while you're taking the exam, you can go to cb.org/requestmakeup after the test, and you can type to them and explain to them what happened, and you can request to take the test again on the makeup date in June. It will be a different version, but you will have that option if you have any kind of technical issues during the exam. Best of luck. Just show what you know. Be confident in what you've learned all year, and good luck.